breaking news, sort of transfer situation. Something we expected, lads. Edouard Mendy joined Chelsea, new goalkeeper coming in from Rennes, Senegalese international. With Kepa Arrizabalaga performances in recent days, weeks, and months, this is something we expected. Lampard said he's going to come in to compete with Kepa for the #1 spot, but I think we all know that's not really the case. Kepa's made so many errors. Pretty much every shot that's coming in from outside the box has been going in. Had that awful error against Liverpool last time out to let in Mane for the second. Andy, what do you think about this move first and foremost? Do you think this is heading in the right direction for Chelsea?
They had to do something. They couldn't continue on just in the way that they've been for the last season and a half. I think they've got enough evidence that Kepa, whether he can be that guy or not, there's clearly something mentally going on with him right now, I think, and he's pressing a little bit, just trying to do a little bit too much with every touch of the ball, with every save that he's asked to make, and he's clearly inside of his own head. And I think the biggest comparison that I've seen from anyone is kind of David De Gea from when he first came over to Manchester United from Atletico Madrid. He was, he struggled bad for a couple seasons, but it was all things that you can kind of teach. It was dealing with crosses in the box and balls up high and kind of the physicality of the Premier League he wasn't used to. And so he grew into that physically and mentally. With Kepa, it's just kind of mistake after mistake after mistake. And I don't know that you can kind of teach or coach that out other than just giving him kind of the confidence. And certainly, replacing him and benching him is not probably going to do that. So I would imagine by the time Mendy gets settled in, we've probably seen just about the last of Kepa at Chelsea, and that doesn't mean he can't go on and be successful elsewhere, but I would imagine that he's probably not going to start many more games for Chelsea.
Nick, he's never seemed comfortable, has he, Kepa at Chelsea, or just in the Premier League in general?
Maybe there were some moments, maybe at the start, the fallout with Sarri in the cup was, hilarious, right? In retrospect, hilarious, but maybe a harbinger of things to come. And I just think as their defense, as we kind of look at who they have there and who they have had there, I wonder how all he had to do for 2 weeks was be okay, right? That's all he had to do. If he was okay against Liverpool, Lampard said after the game, it was a little unrealistic, but he could have been 1-1 if we make the penalty and Kepa doesn't give the ball away. And that's, again, it doesn't really tell you about the game, but it's not entirely wrong. So I am a little bit surprised maybe we didn't see Caballero. I know he's 38 years old, but, Lampard's trusted him before. So it's time. I do worry a little bit about Lampard's approach. Obviously, he thinks Rudiger is surplus requirements. I know Azpilicueta had an injury earlier this year, but 5 minutes over 2 games when he's one of your steadiest guys and your captain for a long time. I don't know, a little weird for me. I still have some questions about Lampard and his just super excitement about young players.
And do you think Chelsea is strong enough at the back, Nick? Because we talk about them as title contenders, potentially the team closest to Liverpool and Man City. Thiago Silva's coming on a free transfer. Obviously, Ben Chilwell's a massive upgrade on Marcus Alonso at left back. Do you think they have enough now defensively with Mendy coming in to kind of be the best of the rest, if you like, in the Premier League?
I do, but with a major hedge, and that's that you have right now at least N'Golo Kante, and Kovacic has been incredible. I've loved watching him play. It's one of those things where you look at him and be like, what didn't you see, Madrid? Like, what wasn't there for you? Because he's really matured into incredible. And Lampard probably deserves a lot of credit for that. Midfield maestro himself.
I think they've got a lot of second center backs there along that back line, but they don't have the commanding leader, right? They don't have the Van Dijk. They don't have the Toby Alderweireld at his very best, obviously not there anymore, but just that player that completely organizes and takes charge of the defense. They need someone to take charge and be in control of what they're doing defensively. It's everybody kind of looking side to side. You got this, and nobody really wants to step up and make the play. They're all scared to make a mistake, to be the one that costs the team. It's just that there's so many kind of indecisive moments back there along the back line. And they just need that one person that comes in and goes, I got this. It's good. We're good.
Yeah, there's a lot of players that seem to be on this very similar level. Zuma, Rudiger, Christensen, they're, like you said, all looking to one another. No one has really elevated himself from that pack of centre-backs. And Tomori, I thought, did really well when he came in against Liverpool, but all of a sudden he hasn't played a lot very recently. For the last few months, he's been kind of the odd man out there. So interesting to see what Thiago Silva does when he comes in and when he's up to speed. But for Chelsea, my big thing is, how much difference will a goalkeeper make to the way that they're asked to play? Because Lampard is an attacking coach. He loves to get players forward. He likes his fullbacks to become wingbacks. And like you said, Nick, Kante is kind of that safety net, right? If everyone bombs forward, then at least he's there plugging the gaps. But I still think that Chelsea will get overloaded in a lot of situations. And even if you're the best goalkeeper in the world, if you're having to face 5 or 6 shots from inside your own box a game, you're going to concede a couple of goals. So really interesting to see how Chelsea get on. And then, of course, they're at West Brom this weekend, 12:30 Eastern, the big game of the week on the big NBC channel. So it'll be interesting to see how those younger players up front gel with Werner and Havertz. But at the back, like we said, is the most interesting thing for Chelsea right now. So breaking news in the Premier League to wrap it up is Edouard Mendy has joined Chelsea from Rennes. He played really well as Senegalese international for Rennes, got into the Champions League, but now he's moving to the Premier League. And it'll be really interesting to see how he does, because I think most of us think he couldn't possibly get any worse than Kepa has in goal for Chelsea over the last few seasons. Not harsh on Kepa, it's just the facts. Like Frank Lampard said, that's football. We've all seen it. We've all seen the mistakes, and they need to take him out of the firing line now and give Mendy a chance.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe. Make sure you subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and always join us every weekend at 7 a.m. on NBCSN for Premier League mornings. Plus, make sure you subscribe to Peacock Premium as well, where you can watch exclusively live 175 games and same-day on-demand replays of all 380 Premier League matches as well.